What's up, YouTube? Pastor Bob here. Well, I wanted to give you a update where I'm at on these. They don't look the same, do they? Huh? I fixed all the cross bracing. I didn't want to make them look new, right? Still leave a little bit of the vintageness to it. But you remember the tops on these, they were bad, right? Well, there you go. There you go, guys. Straighten that top out. There's a little wickle right here. Outside of that, looks pretty good, don't it? Not too shabby, huh? You can look at my other video and remember what it looked like, right? And what the frets look like. Yep, I just left the back the way it was. Fixed the sides a little bit. It was, the top had shrunk is what happened. Was somebody put it in the heat and it got too hot. And what happened was the top shrunk on one side. You can see that right through here. You see how it pushed itself out on this side? But I got 2 dots to put back in it, which I'm going to have to go out and look at mine to match it, because I got a bunch from, I don't know, 40s and 50s and 60s. I'll have to figure out which ones work best. But there's that one. And you remember this one. This one here had a split that ran all the way down it. You can see a little bit of it right there. Just a tiny bit, but looks pretty good. And then on the back, you can remember this was all busted up. I left a little bit of detail on there, but it's all filled. It's all fixed. All brand new cross braces on the back. There you go. Neck looks pretty good, don't it? Headstock. And I was going to change these frets out. And I said, you know, I'll be taking it from the vintage part of it, right? So I decided not to. Now, let me tell you the difference between these two. This one here has a fixed bridge that you run the strings through the rear and run them up to the top to the machine heads, and that's it, right? And this one here has a tail piece that goes on it. I'll show you. So, I had a custom tail piece made. I'll show it to you. There's the tail piece. Okay. And then what happens here is the tail piece sits back here on it. Right? Like that. And then forward of that, I had this bridge made too. I'll show you. I could have made it, but I didn't feel like it, because this is all made out of rosewood, and it's adjustable if you look. And then your bridge sits there like that. And then you can adjust your intonation. But this is already set, so it's good to go. So pretty much all you gotta do is set your action, and that one will be finished. So this is more of a deluxe model Stella, and then this one here was more, you know, just a regular old gel. And you can tell by the difference of the top. Now, this has a flame pattern to it, and then this one here just has a regular spruce top, right? But they came out not too bad. I didn't want to redo the whole things, you know, because that takes from the vintage part of it. I just wanted to fix what was necessary, which, you know, there's a lot on the inside that needed fixed. And then I had to fix this neck because the fretboard was off, was broke. So I had to fix that. And so I got all of that taken care of. And all new cross braces in here. And then I did some things that they didn't do back in the old days. I put cross bracing back here, a fan bracing back here, to stabilize this from pulling up, right? Because you want a lot of strength back here. They didn't do that with these inexpensive guitars back in the day, but I did that. And I also put another cross brace up here forward. So there's a brace here, and then one here, and then you can see the serial number in between. And the reason why I did that is to give it strength so that the neck doesn't pull, right? And then add another brace here. So it's solid. And then I did the same thing with this one on the back. If you look, there's all new braces on the back down in there. So they're getting there. I ought to have them done in another week or two, hopefully. It's my projects. You know, I got a Stella, an old Stella Les Paul, that I tell you right now, I put it up against any of my Les Pauls. It's that good. And it's all mahogany. It's all mahogany and maple. You just got to get the right ones, you know. But so 1963 and 1972. Oldies. They're becoming harder and harder to get. Most of the ones that you see are so beat up and broken and nobody knows how to fix them or wants to take the time. Well, what happens is, after a while, there won't be any. And they'll become more rare. So these guys ought to be alright, though. I got to make a new nut for this one, because the nut that was on this one, so back in 63, what they did was, they made this. They made the nut out of rosewood. And as you can see, it's kind of chewed up a little bit. So instead of making it out of rosewood again, having it break, and they did this for a cost, right? I'm going to make one out of bone. And that will give better tonality for the guitar too. So I'll give it better tone. And I just put my new dots in here. The frets are great on this. There's nothing wrong with the frets. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the frets on this one. I don't think anybody really played it too much, to be honest with you. They probably tinkered around, but they really didn't. Somebody that didn't really play it a lot. Now this one, somebody played the hell out of that one. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed my video. And I hope maybe that from some of the things that I showed you, you learned a little bit. And, you know, I don't go into details about everything because sometimes you got to learn things on your own. But you see the pictures and you see how I cut them. And then once I finish them, you'll see how they sound, right? Let me show you something. Somebody said, oh, well, the sound of this one here is going to be bad, right? Well, I'll tell you what. Now that's sitting. Sounds pretty good to me. And now it's sitting on the bed, which dampens it. Because what happens is the vibration goes from this to the bed. But, same thing with this one. You can hear the difference, right? Now you see how the tone of this one's different? This one's going to be higher pitched. That one's going to have a lower tone. But if you look at them side by side, right? The size, they're the same, pretty much the same size, right? I mean, that's that. But I toned that one. Toned it. I tuned it differently, right? Than I did this one. Because all the cross braces were missing out of this one, busted up. So I put new cross braces in it, and I tuned them cross braces. Now people probably say, how the hell do you do that? Well, you know, if you go to Lutheran school, they teach you those things, right? In Lutheran school, it's not just about guitars, right? It's violins and violas, when you learn those things, you learn to tune them a little bit different. Well, the master luthier that taught me in Germany showed me some tricks, and they do work. I didn't understand at the time how they work, but they do work. So I've used that to fix most of the stuff that I get for myself, and I've never had any problems. So, anyways, I'll cut you short. It's been in 10 minutes, but I did want to show you my update. Hope you all enjoyed it. And there are the two Stellas, and we'll keep working on them. And then hopefully in the next video that I do on them, I'll be playing them. Anyways, take care. God bless. Love you all. Like, share, subscribe. Pastor Bob's out of here. See ya.